back again for another edition of the 4D Chess Dynasty Trade Show, coming at you, episode 7. Can you believe that shit, Adam? Episode 7.
Episode 7, man. Weeks flying by.
It's hot out here, man. Episode 7, it literally is hot out here.
It is, and it's humid.
Some fucking degrees. I'm too fat for this, man. We appreciate you guys tapping in. If you are listening on podcast forum, rate and review helps us out so much. And you too, like and subscribe, leave some comments. Subscribe helps so much too. Boosts the numbers. You get the likes, you get the comments going, helps the algorithm, so it helps us out. So we appreciate it. And as always, if you want to trade featured on this show, you know where to find us. Patreon.com/allgas. Get you into Destination Debbie. Patreon.com/South Harmon. Come over, hang out with Adam and I and the shitheads. So, hell, Adam, let's stop messing around. Let's get right into it. First one. If you remember last week, I traded for a quarterback. Exact same league. Doubled up. Traded for another quarterback. Another stud, 14 teams, Superflex start 9. Might as well. I trade away 22-103 and a 23 second, which is probably mid to late, just for some context. It's not super early. And in return, I received Mr. Super Bowl champion Matthew Stafford back. How you feeling about this one?
Well, it's interesting. Everyone tuning in, shitheads, Dynasty Degenerates on the podcast, whoever you are tuning in, we're going to add a little wrinkle here. It used to be, a lot of one quarterback and Superflex talk. Over here, we're not doing any one quarterback stuff, okay? You can forget about that. We're not doing one QB. But from now on, we're going to break it down because best ball is becoming a format that Mike and I really prefer and do a lot of. Destination Debbie with a lot of the people there. We're doing a lot of the best ball stuff. So we want to go best ball and lineup, and we'll give you a grade on both sides. Interestingly enough, this is the deal we get first because I do not give a fuck if it's best ball or lineup. Give me Matthew Stafford. My goodness. What are you doing to these people, man?
Adam, this is the one where you have a person who is a failed contender at the end of his contender run, really wanting to rebuild desperately and desperately trying to sell off pieces. And that's where if you have the assets available, that's your time to pounce, because you can get some discounts. And I would gladly do this. If I stuck at the 103, Adam, I was taking Kenny Pickett. I'm a man of my word. We don't podcast about Kenny Pickett for me to not fucking take him at 103. So in my mind, this is Kenny Pickett. At worst, it's going to be Drake London. If you're a Drake London person, like if you'd rather take him, fine. Kenny Pickett or Drake London, a second that's mid to late in a 14 team next year. I know it says 23, but I could really give a shit less about it. Just kind of a whatever piece for a guy in Matt Stafford that you and I like. I mean, we're probably not as high as some people are. Where he goes in ADP, I don't think you and I are probably touching him a lot. Like we're not going to end up with an overabundance of Matthew Stafford shares because we're that high on him. But I like him. He's an upper echelon quarterback, definitely in the threat for putting up QB1 numbers in a 14-team league. I'll take that on a contender. So I really like this deal. It's just I wanted to point this one out, not because I want to gloat or anything, but for those of you listening and watching, keep that in mind with teams that are coming to the end of their contender run. If you're that team that slowly is building and you have a lot of assets, go explore some of these types of deals because you can get some hefty discounts, I would say.
Mike, you smell that? Smells like desperation.
I was going to throw in some lines for The Big Short. No, it's money.
It's money.
All right, Adam. I can't kick every show off with me, so I have a trade for you with you involved here, you and T-Rock. Okay. So, Adam, you sent away Noah Fant and Brandon Ayuk, and in return you received Albert O, a 23 first, and a 23 second. So take us into what you're doing in this league. Is this a lineup league? Is this a best ball league? What were you doing here?
Yeah, so this is a best ball league. This is one of those, Mike, where, it's probably still the case now. It's been a little while since I've done a snake startup, but this is right at peak time where 23 first, you could send literally. So I ended up sending the 23 first straight up for Cam Akers. And I'm like, at that point, I picked my direction. I'm going to go for it. So T-Rock was sitting on my picks, and this came across. Now, I still think I'm a contender, but this does give me, one, my 23 first and second back, if anything was to happen early, right? And then on top of it, like here's the way I break down this trade, Mike, and why I took it even on the contending side. If you told me you're sending me a late guaranteed first for Brandon Ayuk on a contender, I'd probably just hold Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. But I'd say that's probably about what I would need to do to even start considering it. Noah Fant and Albert O, I like Noah Fant, but the difference there in best ball on the contending side, I don't know if it's really that different, right? So really where I decided that this trade made a lot of sense for me was that second, which was thrown in there. And now I'm at 3 assets, and I like Albert O and Noah Fant, not very much different. And I think Ayuk makes sense for the first. So I feel like I'm getting that second, and that's kind of what pushed me over the top.
I like the trade for both parties here. I think it was a very well constructed trade just from a value standpoint. The reason I will also just I say it's well for your side as well. The fact that I know that you know what to do with the 23 first and second in return, and it's not going to go wasted. So yes, it's late, but it's not something you're like, I'm going to hold this. I know you're going to use it at the right time to push in and capitalize on the fact that people tend to overvalue those picks quite often. Like you mentioned, like Brandon Ayuk for a late 23 first, no thanks. Like I'll just keep my Brandon Ayuk. I'm good. Yep. Lineup or best ball, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Noah Fant for Albert O in a second. I don't know. That's kind of a toss-up. I mean, Noah Fant, Albert O, I like both, but, I prefer Noah Fant. I don't know if the second's enough, and especially if it's a late second. So I like the side from T-Rock as well. But I will caveat it by it's a smart move from your part. If you go from Fant to Albert O, they're probably going to score the same or close to it this year. You get a first and second. Maybe you can use that and capitalize on somebody who's valuing the 23 part too much to go get an asset that's better than Brandon Ayuk at the end of the day.
Right.
So if you're already out here flipping 23 first for Cam Akers straight up, late ones, hell, I like your odds of finding something a little bit better than Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, and I don't want to take too much time on my trade, but the dynamics of the league, right? T-Rock was the one person that hoarded picks, right? So I'm getting it back from him. And then at some point, probably within the first couple months, Mike, there's going to be someone, similar you saw in that last trade, that's like, shit, this isn't happening for me. I want these 23 firsts. And I'm going to be able to move that 23 first, maybe even the second, for a really nice piece or two.
Yeah, I like that. You play the leverage game, right? The Scott Connor special.
Yes, sir.
Leverage.
Dynasty leverage.
I love it. All right, number 3, we got Russell Wilson in a 23 third being acquired for Ronald Jones and T. Higgins. Adam, I don't think this matters to me whether this is best ball or lineup. Ronald Jones really just doesn't do it for me at all. Like, it doesn't get my juices flowing. So,
yeah. So, best ball or lineup here is absolutely irrelevant to me. I wouldn't honestly move a 23 third for Ronald Jones in best ball personally. It's not for me.
Yeah.
And then the thing about it is, it's funny because I saw this trade go into a different Discord than Destination Debbie or our South Harmon, which will remain nameless. But there was a lot of people, I can't move T. Listen, say whatever you want about T. Higgins. We love him, but he is gone every single day if I'm getting Russell Wilson in Superflex, which we already know these leagues are. So, man, I don't care if it's best ball lineup. I don't care if it's short roster, starters, long, Russell Wilson every single time.
Russ is the top 8 quarterback in Superflex. And yeah, I said it, and you can bookmark it if you want. Russ is a top 8 quarterback in Superflex. Still, I will side with the top 8 quarterback in Superflex over a wide receiver, no matter how much I love T. Higgins. I think I'd moved him up to wide receiver 4 or 5 in Dynasty.
And that's fair.
Give me the fucking quarterback. And the third for Ronald Jones, like you had mentioned, man, I'm not sending a third for Ronald Jones, a 23 third. I'd rather just keep the third.
Yeah.
I can do much better than Ronald Jones, I would think.
And the other thing too, Mike, obviously the big, huge caveat here, the elephant in the room, is the positional scarcity in Superflex with Russell Wilson versus T. Higgins, right? But before we even get to that point, right, if we just went off of the 4D startup mindset, you're talking a full round plus that Russell Wilson's going ahead of T. Higgins right now. It's 204 to 306. So with that's without even factoring in quarterback versus receiver.
And that's being objective just on ADP, right?
Correct.
I would struggle to find Ronald Jones going in like the third round range, a future third round range.
Mike,
Maybe it's closer.
I'm looking at it right here. He is not going in the top 20 rounds right now currently. So
yikes. Yeah, I'm good, man. that's he's just a kind of a throw in, but man, I need a better throw in like that.
Pass.
Woo.
Yeah. Best ball lineup. We'll take Russell Wilson, please.
Both sides. Yeah. Both league types. Give me the Russ side. Easy. All right. So this one, a little more interesting here. Interesting from the standpoint of just absolute disgustingness. So we got Cortland Sutton, Gabe Davis, Trey Lance, and the 101, which is Breece Hall. So it was selected, Breece Hall. Cortland Sutton, Gabe Davis, Trey Lance, and Breece Hall being acquired for Robert Woods and Justin Jefferson. What in the holy Santa Claus shit is this, Adam?
Now, Mike, I saw that you asked a specific question to this person in the trade show. Was that answered?
Yes, it was answered right before we hit record. It is a Superflex league, so it's even worse. It's like my worst case scenario. Mike, if this was one QB, maybe like we're having a conversation.
Mike, we picked a bad episode to do the best ball and lineup discrepancies because 3 of the first 4, I don't care what the heck the league setting is. I mean, I'll break this one down if you want me to, but Justin Jefferson's a late first round pick. Trey Lance is a second. Breece Hall is a second. So right then and there, you just give me Justin Jefferson, late first, go back 2 seconds. I'm doing that every single time.
Easy. Smash.
Sutton and Gabe Davis are going ahead of Robert Woods. Like, I don't even understand where in the hell Greek Canuck is thinking that he's going to win this trade in any capacity. Listen, we talk about this all the time. If you are sitting on the wide receiver 1 or 2 in Dynasty, you're going to get a lot of pushback currently because it's Chase and it's Jefferson, but you got pushback when it was DK and when it was A.J. Brown and when it was whoever else it was, DJ Moore and Juju. Go back. You're always going to get that pushback. So I understand that everybody wants Jefferson, but this is why we say to trade him. Because if you get anywhere, you don't even need all this, but if you get all this, it's just, I'm off of him every single time.
So if I take away like the player names and I just look at it, I think even worst case scenario, Trey Lance probably worth 2 future firsts. Breece Hall, probably worth 2 future firsts. I'm not even going to include Cortland Sutton and Gabe Davis. You don't think Cortland Sutton's worth at least a late first? That's fine, understandable. But, probably a couple seconds is fair. Gabe Davis is worth at least a second, I would assume. So you're looking at 3 seconds and 4 firsts for Justin Jefferson. I don't know what the hell Robert Woods is worth. But
second, maybe. I mean, maybe. But Mike, I would say 2 seconds for Lance, 2 seconds for Breece. I'm sorry, 2 firsts for Lance, 2 firsts for Breece, 2 seconds for Sutton, and 1 second for Gabe Davis. Those are all as light as you're probably going to be able to acquire all those guys.
Yeah, that's being on the extremely light side.
So this is like, even from that standpoint, Mike, it's egregious because you're talking about basically in the neighborhood of 5 firsts and a second.
The way we like to play too, man, even if I have Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, somebody comes for one of those guys and offers me 4 firsts and 3 seconds. Like, I'm like, oh, God, man, I got to take this. Like, I'll figure the rest out later. Sorry, guys.
And I think here's the thing. Like, so in lineup, right? Let's talk about lineup for a second because in best ball, this is so unbelievably not close. Not that lineup isn't also not close, but in lineup, right, you might say, okay, I want that stud, Justin Jefferson. And I think what happens a lot of times, some trades, people trade too far down and they don't feel like they're getting stud. I mean, you're getting 2 studs back in Breece Hall and Lance. It's not like you're going way too far down the ladder,
This isn't Isaiah Spiller and Kenny Pickett.
Right. I mean, man, we can move on. Way to go. The dealer is back, and clearly, because that is one hell of a deal. Wow.
Woo. Nice job. It was an interesting one when I saw it. That's why I had to ask. Is this is like maybe I can make an argument if this is one QB, but holy cow. All right. So we got a Nick Chubb deal. We just talked a little bit about Nick Chubb last night on Tuesday night on the AMA. So we got Nick Chubb, Elijah Moore, and Kenny Pickett being acquired for Tyreek Hill. Adam, what is with the receiver market, man? Maybe you and I should be higher on receivers because you can get some ridiculous deals, it seems, as of late.
I've barely started drinking. I mean, this is what is going on here. This is insane. What are these trades this week? Nick Chubb. All right, so, man, ADP Tyreek Hill's probably the first one off the board, right?
Yeah, I would say that's probably fair. He probably goes before Nick Chubb. I would.
He's a 4th. Chubb is the very first pick right now in the 5th. But so it's a difference of like 6 picks. in Superflex.
Yeah, that's fair.
But Kenny Pickett's a 7th and Elijah's a 6th, even with the hate, or a 7th at worst. So, like, man, and not to mention, you're getting back a receiver and you're getting 2 of the more scarce positions in Chubb and Pickett. Like, this is just crazy, man.
I'm starting to think some of these deals that I find in the Discord are photoshopped. People are just having a laugh at us.
What does Ray say? Banana land. These are banana land, man. What is going on?
Do I really need to give a side here? Anybody who says the Tyreek Hill side, I guess Vegas Sinatra really loves him some Tyreek. Maybe it's Tyreek Hill.
He better have the whole Dolphin stack, and I mean, even then, I don't care.
Maybe it really is Tyreek Hill sleeper username. Vegas Sinatra. He wanted his own share of himself back. So
once again, best ball lineup. I don't care. Give me Andrew too true.
All right, hopefully we get a little bit more competitive here.
All right.
These deals. All right, number 6 we got Deshaun Watson being dealt again, man. Deshaun Watson panic is in full swing, so why not keep talking about it? So we got Deshaun Watson being acquired for the cost of Zach Wilson and a 23 second.
All right, Mike. This one is better than the ones we've been looking at. Let me say it that way.
Nice way of saying it.
Let me ask the question before we get into all this, Mike. If you're a contender and you have Zach Wilson, would you make this move?
If I was a contender and had Zach Wilson, man, wow. Adam, you know what? I think I would not.
So and that's what I was going to say, man.
God, that sucks to say. It sucks.
I'm telling you why, though. I wanted to hear you say that because I wouldn't have been shocked had you said yes, but I would have been a little surprised, right? I think this is a move that's screaming, I am panicked on Watson, and I have to get a quarterback because I'm a contender, right? And this is what he could get. I think this is the reality of this deal, if I had to guess.
If I'm a contender on the other side, though, like you mentioned, and I'm sitting on Zach Wilson, and somebody comes and offers me their Deshaun Watson for my Zach Wilson in a second, man, I'm probably holding realistically. Just it has value tells me to take Deshaun Watson 100 times out of 100. And I don't want to panic on Deshaun Watson. And I would assume most people would say sentiment. But this is where we talk about on the podcast about knowing your league mates. I got to feel really good about my prospects of then moving Deshaun Watson on a contender later. And I'm going to say most times in some of these leagues, just from some feedback on the Watson shares I've tried to move, that could be a hard proposition, man. There is a lot of feelings on Deshaun Watson in a negative way where people don't even want to touch the guy. So
right.
To take on that kind of asset without a viable plan on how I'm going to fill the Zach Wilson production at the quarterback spot, like if Zach Wilson's my QB3, okay, fine. If I'm starting Zach Wilson in my super flex spot, and then maybe I have some even worse options behind him, I really don't feel good about making him. But I would say in a situation, though, where he's like QB3, okay, fine. I'll just take the value, and then I'll worry about going and getting a Jameis Winston or a Tannehill or a Goff or somebody like that just to cover me the best possible way that I can. But,
yeah.
Ooh, that's a tough one to think about, man. You hit me right in the teeth with that baby.
So, and I mean, the reason I brought that up is for a few things. One, lineup or best ball probably is not relevant here either. The one thing I'll say is, like, if it's best ball, you got – I would – man, I'm not making this pivot, honestly, Mike. If I'm a contender, here's the other thing. Like, I didn't have Watson on any of my contenders so far.
Yeah.
Right? So, but if somehow my contender was Watson's my quarterback too and I don't really have a plan, when Mike and I would do a team review, we would struggle to say that this is a certain contender, right? So that's the other tricky part about this.
Yeah.
But you did get the second back, which is an asset you can move. To me, though, this is still Watson, man. Like, even if he misses a whole year on the value side, I do not care. And we like Zach Wilson.
We're going to talk about it more with our best ball series, so I won't get too much into it. But I can see where Zach Wilson in a best ball team is an integral part of your quarterback group.
Sure.
Because maybe you have somebody a little bit better as like your lead dog, but Zach Wilson may be part of a deep committee of just okays or averages or however you want to phrase it. But maybe it's like Zach Wilson and there's a a Kirk Cousins or something like that in there as well. Maybe another piece like a Jared Goff. So in that case, like a contender on best ball, I think I'd probably be okay moving Zach Wilson in a best ball situation on a contender. But in a lineup league for a contender, it's going to be even tougher because, like you mentioned, like you probably ain't a real contender if Zach Wilson's your QB2, more than likely. Like you're probably not feeling the greatest. So,
correct.
Woo! At least we got a little bit more discussion on that one. It wasn't a home run slam dunk like all the other ones.
Yeah.
All right, number 7, we got a Mandrews trade. We got Mark Andrews and a 23 third being acquired for Patty F, Pat Freiermuth, and Treylon Burks. Adam, how you feel about this? Down tier or up tier, however you want to look at it. Somebody down tiered, another guy up tiered. So,
this one hits you right in the feels for me. This is right. So here's what I would say in lineup, Mike. Let's do this. Is going to be one where lineup and best ball we're having different discussions.
For sure.
Although I could see the answer still being the same for some on both. Okay, I'll say that.
Yeah.
On lineup, to me, this is where I would take the up tier to Mark Andrews. Start 9, start 10 lineup. I will give you Treylon Burks and take the upgrade all the way to Mark Andrews.
Say it's start 13. You still feel that way?
Start 13, I'm having a totally different discussion with myself. I
Okay.
may not do this one. I would have to have so much depth, Mike, to do that and start 13.
Yeah.
If I'm just loaded, I would consider it in lineup. Otherwise, no. So on the shorter lineup leagues, yes, absolutely. I'll take Mark Andrews. In best ball, man, that's tough for me. I think I could make the case if it was like a heavy tight end premium league to take Andrews. But I think more often than not, Mike, I'm going to just go ahead and take the down tier in best ball here.
I will agree with you. With a caveat, I'm not taking that down tier if I'm trying to compete this year in best ball. Just because of the thing I have about rookies.
Yeah.
And what kind of production Treylon Burks. He may smash. He may absolutely smash, but I just don't want to put my hopes in it, even if it's just in a best ball league and like kind of a shot on it. I don't want to put too much stock in like thinking this guy's going to do a lot for me. Pat F's nice, but he's fucking no Mark Andrews.
No, of course not. No,
he's not giving you that positional advantage week in and week out,
correct.
Even in best ball. So
he's more of the tight end 8, 9, 10 range, right?
Yeah.
Where Andrews is locked in elite stud. So I would say this too, to that point about the contender. I would still, if I was a contender on this one, I would be looking to 4D this and ship Burks out somewhere else to a different piece.
Yeah, that'd be the play there. I'd hold on to Pat F as just one piece, and then I'd move Treylon off for a vet and something else. Maybe you get another third back. You know what I mean? You go down to Keenan Allen and you pick up a second or something along those lines. Just keep the train moving, but you turn Mark Andrews into multiple pieces. I'm fine with that. Definitely. I definitely.
Correct. Yeah. But on lineup, short lineup league, start 9, start 10, start 11. I'm taking Andrews here.
I fully agree with you. Yeah. Those short ones, man, I need the studs. Give me all the studs. Give me the Mark Andrews. I like Patty F. And I like Treylon. It's not as much as Mandrews.
No.
All right. Number 8, we got David Montgomery, 22-310, the 22-302, and a 23-5th being acquired for our boy, my boy, should be everyone's boy, Antonio Gibson, and a 22-401. A lot of junk in this deal. A lot of junk.
It's looking real junky. Mike, this is, you know what? Go H Devil. I know he's in our Discord.
Yes.
This is a guy to listen to the podcast, man. Listen to last week's 4D. Because we talked with Nick. Has the hate gone too far on Antonio Gibson because he's going after Montgomery? To me, you could basically look at this deal as, I don't know, man. Especially seeing that these are 22 thirds.
Yeah,
I'm good. Like, you can remove all these picks from me. It's Montgomery versus Gibson, and I want Gibson, and we all three agreed. Give me Gibson. So, well done, my friend. Antonio Gibson is the move here. I don't care if it's best ball or lineup, honestly.
There is a lot of Monty lovers out there. A lot of them. He's fine, Adam. I don't mind him if he's on my team. I just, compared to Antonio Gibson, I don't think it's a debate, even as much as people want to hate on Antonio Gibson. I would think that most reasonable people would rather have Antonio Gibson, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Let me ask you this, Mike, actually, real quick on the best ball side. All right.
Yep.
302, that could be TDP.
Could be. Yep.
310, that could be Keontae Ingram, Brian Robinson, Sam Howell. I'm not saying it's anything crazy, but does that do anything for you if it's best ball? Or is that still not enough? Let's say that says TDP and that says Sam Howell, your boy.
Yeah.
Does that change it at all?
Now we have a conversation, right?
Right.
But then we got to factor in the 401 might be worth.
The 401 would, let's say the 401 is Romeo. Let's just do the actual 401, Romeo Doubs.
Okay.
So change it at all. Best ball, it makes it more of a discussion. I had to do that real quick.
Yeah. It does make it more of a discussion because if you got the roster space to handle it, deeper rosters, 30, 35, and maybe you want them shots. I don't know what the production difference between Montgomery and Gibson is going to be this year, but as much as I like Gibson, I don't think it's a massive, I'm not talking 10 points difference. I mean, we're talking maybe 3, 4, 5 points per game in that ballpark.
Yeah.
Which I would probably favor Antonio Gibson, but if Montgomery outscored him just this year, like I'm looking at it in dynasty terms, why I'd rather have Gibson over Monty, but just this year, shit, man. Yeah, and best ball contender side, maybe I think I might actually want the Monty and give me the junk. Give me the junk with it. Baby.
All right, man. I think this is a smashing lineup. I think in best ball we're having a real discussion based on what those pieces actually are drafted to.
I agree, man. I agree how you have to position and move yourself and select the right pieces for the trade that you just make. Like if I get the 3-2, the 310, I'm not just throwing them away on something that's not likely to hit, right? Like we can like Khalil Shakir all we want, but the odds of him actually producing something meaningful is very low. Like you said, if you're in the TDP range, all right, now you got my interest, right?
Right.
And
based on ADP, 302 is only at Zamir White, man.
You piqued my curiosity. Now you have my attention.
Love it, man. Love it.
All right. Last one we got here. Pretty simple here. And this is the one I wanted to end on. Just to highlight one point that we talk about on 4D and we talk about with patrons on the shit show, etc. But we have Noah Fant in the 22-301 being acquired for Cole Kmet, Adam. What are your feelings on this? I know you like Fant. I know you like Fant. You're a Fant guy. I'm a Fant guy. We should all be Fant guys. He went to Iowa. Go Hawks.
Man, I'll say this. I have Noah Fant several spots ahead of Cole Kmet personally in my rankings. Now, when you go look at ADP, I'm not sure that says the same thing. But even still, we just talked about 302, 302. That was pretty long to discuss 302 last trade, right?
Yeah.
Now we're at 301. I mean, we're talking Zamir White or TDP possibly, depending on your league and based on ADP. I mean, first of all, I'm taking Noah Fant straight up. And second of all, if it was close for you, it shouldn't be with 301 in there.
Let me pull it up and see where those two are going right now within the last week. So we got Fant at 1106, tight end 14 off the board. Cole Kmet, 1005, tight end 11 off the board. So it is flipped. The reason I wanted to highlight it, you and I both like Noah Fant, and we rank Noah Fant higher than Cole Kmet. Now, I like Cole Kmet too, but just not as much as Noah Fant.
Right.
This is something I just wanted to point out to the people listening, watching, that this is an exploit you can do yourself. So if you have some rankings you trust, or you have your own rankings, and you look at them and you go, man, I got Noah Fant over Cole Kmet. And then you go look at some sort of ADP, whether you want to use Keep Trade Cut or use a Deco or use Player Profiler or whatever it is. And you go and look at it and you see that the market is inverse of what you're thinking. Go send that deal out. And do it smart like Lieber and just add something on your side, because market's telling you that, hey, I can get something extra added onto it. Why not? So now he gets the player that he wanted over Cole Kmet, and he gets a 301. Now it's nothing. The 301's nothing great. It's nothing fantastic, but you got something. And if you hit on the 301, now it's a double win. Like you've smashed it out of the park. But you also kind of have that little bit of insurance in case your rankings were wrong, Adam. But this is a market exploit that you can do over and over again at positions. If you are really convicted on a guy, and you have convictions that I think Noah Fant is 4 spots better than Cole Kmet in Dynasty ranks, and you go to ADP and you look and he is not what the market's valuing, send that deal immediately. Go find the guy who's got Noah Fant, you got to Cole Kmet, and you go out there and you make that deal, and then ask for a third. Why not?
I mean, and listen, right now there's a little bit of that rookie euphoria going on, right? Is it a sure thing that TDP or Zamir White or Jalen Tolbert are going to do anything great? No. But just off of value, one, those players are being traded in deals that are real. And, I mean, Mike, if one of those hits, especially Zamir White or TDP, this is found money.
Free money, right? What if this is like last year and you're getting Elijah Mitchell in that range or something along those lines, right? Holy hell. This
is the other thing too, Mike. When we talk about like ADPs and players to buy and sell and stuff, people forget last year, a mere year ago, Noah Fant was going in the 6th round of startups, Mike.
Look how far he's fallen, man.
Yeah.
Look how far he's fallen. Seattle did him no favors, but he's still a guy you and I like, right?
Yes, absolutely.
We still like him. So I thought this was a good one. Lever put it in the Discord, and saved it. And I'm like, this is a good teaching moment because I don't think enough people talk about how to exploit the market in this exact way. And this is an easy one because you have 2 of the same positions. Now you can do it amongst other positions, mixed startups, that kind of thing. But look at some ranks, man. If they're your own, if you want to go and trust ours, trust Ray's, trust whoever's. But if you can spot those discrepancies, you can rank it over and over on all your leagues. Now, not all of them are going to get accepted, right? Because there's going to be some people out there in your leagues who have Noah Fant who actually fucking like Noah Fant and are like, no, I don't have Cole Kmet over Noah Fant. Why the hell would I do this? But go try it out. And if you get 25% of them to go through, that's a hell of a win for you.
I mean, if you're in leagues like Mike and I might be 2 or 3 deals you get done.
Could be, very well could be, and that's a couple more shares of Noah Fant you get to rock with. So, if you got the conviction enough to rank them there, why not have the conviction enough to go trade them? Especially if you can just get random thirds just tossed in. Here you go, buddy. Have a third. Be on your way. But Adam, what'd you think? 9 deals. We had some doozies, some absolute just atrocious. I don't know how these people pull them off, but bravo to you. And then, a couple good ones in here. Good thought process.
We had some good discussion. I mean, listen, those earlier deals, that's why you got to be active. You catch somebody slipping on Justin Jefferson, and you have absolutely reset your team's value significantly. So go make deals. And this was fun. This was still fun. I'm also excited to keep doing the lineup in best ball. And for those who don't play in a lot of best ball leagues, kind of see where Mike and I's mindset are on why some of these tear downs that everyone's saying, that seems crazy. Why would I do it? But when you start thinking about best ball, why it would make more sense there.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you again for tapping in. Thank you, Adam, for doing this with me as always. We love you. We appreciate all the support that you give us. That's going to do it for us. We're out of here. Peace.